And a few years ago, they even had a problem with people selling fake biographies of Steve Jobs, which I assume were made by just taking Return of the King and swapping out Gandalf for Wozniak. Number 4 is counterfeit food. Now here I'm not talking about China's beloved counterfeit food brands like Pizza Hut or MFC or King Burger, but rather counterfeit versions of food in their most basic forms. Counterfeit eggs, for example, which are made out of this kind of jello slime and wax for the shell. Or how about counterfeit meat? That's when you take the flesh of some cheap animal, like a rat or a weasel, and pump it full of chemicals and dye until it looks like some higher quality product like pork or beef or chicken or lamb. Check this out. This is an official guide from the Chinese government on how to tell real mutton from counterfeit mutton made of rat meat. Can you tell which is the real one? Sometimes it gets even crazier, like honey made of water, buns made of cardboard, or nuts made of cement. Fake food is becoming an increasingly big scandal in China, and it is one of the reasons why you don't often see imported Chinese food for sale in the West. For example, here in Canada, there have been a lot of health advisories and trade limitations over the years on the import of Chinese eggs and dairy and honey. We do expect a certain level of quality for what goes into our McGriddles, after all. Number 5 is counterfeit cartoons. Now, I will admit that this was the one that inspired me to make this entire video, just because I found this so incredibly offensive. Maybe because I care more about cartoons than I do about cars or food. So I'm a big fan of the show The Amazing World of Gumball, which, if you don't know, is this kind of sitcom-y show about a cat boy and his family. The gimmick of this show is that while Gumball and his family are all drawn in this sort of flat style, everyone else in their universe is drawn in a different style, and it's kind of this collage effect where nothing matches. Well, here is a Chinese cartoon called Miracle Star. It is a sitcom-y show about a goat boy and his family, and it is the exact same show. I mean, the settings are the same, the characters are the same, he even has a fish brother. Or how about the Chinese show Legend of Lucky Pie, about a plucky boy and his shape-shifting animal friend? Does this remind you of anything? Like, I don't know, Adventure Time? I guess this just has to be a cultural difference or something, but it is really very difficult for me to wrap my brain around putting this much effort into just creating a worse version of someone else's idea. But anyway, that's some crazy counterfeit Chinese stuff for you. I could have gone on to some of the even weirder ones, like their counterfeit musicals.
来电了，我来自国家电网，我是一名快乐的电力工人，认识你很快乐。来电了。
But maybe another time. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you've ever come across any really weird counterfeit things, either from China or anywhere else. Hank, I'll see you tomorrow.
We so fortunate we got this far.